Hey guys, I just did some grocery shopping at a store called No Frills. No Frills. I think it's one of the most popular grocery stores here in Canada. It has pretty cheap prices. It's kind of the same as any other grocery store. Here in Canada, we use the word grocery store. We don't really say supermarket. You know, in a lot of other countries, people say, I'm going to go to the supermarket and buy food. Well, here in Canada, we say grocery store, okay? So I went to the grocery store, this one, No Frills, and I bought some groceries. Okay, now, do you know what the word frill means? Look at that. Let's see what it says on this bag. It says, get the frill. I don't know if you can see that. Let me try to go like this. Okay. Hey, it's like a bib. You know, like a baby wears a bib like this when it's eating to prevent the food from covering its shirt and pants, whatever. Okay. So I'm like a big baby. I got a bib. Okay. So it says, get the frill out of your bill. Get the frill out of your bill. Okay. Obviously, this is kind of funny because it rhymes, right? Get the frill out of your bill. Frill and bill rhyme. That's why they have this slogan. Okay, now you know what your bill means, right? The bill is like your receipt that shows everything you bought. Okay, but you might not know what the word frill means. What does it mean? Well, the word frill means an unnecessary feature. An unnecessary feature, okay? So this grocery store is just simple. Nothing fancy. You just go in, you get your food, you go out. You know, there's no added, like, do you know what bells and whistles? That sort of has the same idea. There's no bells and whistles. Bells and whistles means something fancy, okay? So the word frill also means something fancy, okay? So this grocery store just is, you know, sort of bare bones. No, I don't know if that's the right word. Bare bones, it means just basic, nothing fancy, okay? So see what it says down here? It says won't be beat. Okay, No Frills, won't be beat. So what this means is that what they're trying to communicate is that it's a cheap grocery store. You won't find anything cheaper, right? It's the cheapest place to buy groceries. They won't be beat. Get the frill out of your bill, right? Take all the fancy things. We're just going to sell you, we're just going to sell you the cheapest, the cheapest, for the cheapest prices. I don't know if the products, if they're low quality. I don't think so. I think the stuff in this store is the same as any other store. Actually, No Frills is owned by the same company as Superstore, which is the biggest grocery store in Canada, okay? Loblaws. Okay, the company's Loblaws. Loblaws basically has a monopoly on Canadian groceries. Okay, so that's what this means. Get the frill out of your bill. That means, don't spend money on useless things. I don't really know. For example, I'm staying in a hotel room here, and I could say this is just a very simple room. It doesn't have any frills. It doesn't have any frills, right? There's nothing fancy in the room. Some hotels have the towels folded in like a special shape, like a swan or a heart or something. Well, this hotel, there's no swans or hearts in this hotel. That would be a good example of a frill. A frill, if your towel is folded very, in a nice fancy way in the shape of a swan. I mean, you don't need that, right? That's a frill. It's unnecessary. I mean, maybe you do need it. Maybe you need your towel folded in the shape of a swan. But I think most people just need a towel, to dry themselves off. It doesn't matter what it's folded as, right? So that's what the word frill means. Okay, something sort of fancy. Okay, so get the frill out of your bill. I mean, just take anything fancy out of your bill. There's nothing fancy here. You're not paying for anything extra, right? Like, the hotels that fold your towels in the shape of a swan, they're more expensive than this one I'm staying in, right? You pay more money for those kind of bells and whistles, right? Now the word frill has another meaning, okay? The word frill means something fancy that is on clothing. I don't know how I can explain it. I'll show you some pictures, okay? You know, sometimes on a woman's dress, the fabric is sort of bunched up, and yeah, I don't know. It's kind of nice. It looks nice. It's a fancy thing. Okay, that's called a frill. Okay, so some dresses have frills, some dresses don't have frills. Also, sometimes on men's dress shirts, I think there are some frills here. Usually frills are on women's clothing, not on men's clothing, but some dress shirts, like if you see a guy wearing a tuxedo, you might see some frills on the shirt. I think. I'm not sure. I've never owned clothing with frills. How about you? Do you own any clothing with frills? Let me know down there in the comments. I don't think I've ever owned any piece of clothing with a frill. But anyway, those are the two meanings of the word frill, okay? First meaning is, actually they're sort of the same, right? They both mean something fancy, but it's just in a different context, right? One is on clothing, and the other one means if it's like something fancy in a, you know, like a hotel room or a grocery store or whatever. You know, if this grocery store would have a greeter outside, like, you know, Walmart has greeters. When you walk into Walmart, well, usually nobody greets me when I walk into Walmart, but sometimes there are people there, and those people are called greeters, okay? So this store doesn't have any greeters. If it did, you know, maybe the word frill wouldn't be good, because that's sort of a frill, right? That's something extra if someone greets you, or if you go to a hotel and someone, you know, carries your luggage and maybe parks your car. Wow, that's something pretty fancy, right? Well, this store doesn't have any frills, and this hotel room doesn't have any. Hey, maybe my life doesn't have any frills. Maybe I'm just a simple person. Hey, does your life have any frills? I don't know. Let me know down in the comments what kind of life you have. I guess this is an indicator of my life. I shop at a grocery store with no frills, and I stay in hotel rooms with no frills. Maybe sometime I should do something with frills. Oh, that would be special. Maybe next time I'll stay in a hotel that has some frills, some fancy bells and whistles. Anyway, hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I'll see you over in the next episode of Mad English TV. Take care.